I want to bring in now CBS News meteorologist and climate specialist Jeff Berardelli. Jeff's in Montauk on New York's Long Island. Jeff, we've been watching your coverage, seeing you get rained on, but it looks like the storm that came otherwise wasn't too rough. Is this good news?
Yeah, it is good news. So it moved the core of it. The center of the storm moved around 25 miles east of Montauk, so we missed out on the core. We did dodge a bit of a bullet. It wasn't a bust, though. I mean, the bottom line here is every storm has a different character. Sandy, of course, when we think back on Sandy, is known for all the storm surge. Irene, which happened in 2011, you probably don't remember it, but it was the year before Sandy, that caused tremendous amounts of inland flooding in upstate New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. So each and every storm is a little bit different. Hurricane Michael, which slammed the Panhandle, that was a big wind storm, produced tremendous wind damage. So every storm is a little different. This one, as we kind of surmised yesterday and the day before, might eventually turn into a memorable inland flooding event, and we're already seeing that happen. So this storm, you know, at least for eastern Long Island, we certainly got lucky here, but the folks in Rhode Island and eastern Connecticut took a direct hit from this system, and it's not over yet because it's slowing down and it's going to dump a lot of heavy rain.
So, Jeff, I want to ask you more about that. You and I have actually been discussing on email offline the projected path of the storm. It's changed several times. Tell us more about the areas that ended up getting hit hardest by Henri, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. And how extensive do you expect that damage might be?
Well, you know, I should mention that, of course, when we show you the line from the cone, the middle of it is just our best, you know, estimate of where we think the storm's going to go, but it could really be anywhere within that cone. And this actual forecast track of the storm, which ended up going through western parts of Rhode Island into eastern parts of Connecticut, was within that cone. So there's always a little bit of uncertainty and error. So how much damage do we expect? Well, you know, it's certainly not going to be quite as much as it could have been if it affected eastern Long Island, because remember, it would have affected more territory and it would have been a bit stronger because it wouldn't have weakened as much before landfall. So that's the good news. That was a little bit of the saving grace. But what I do want to talk about is something completely different, right? So Henri was about a couple hundred miles to the east of the East Coast last night when New York City and New Jersey got deluged by a band of rain that was associated with Henri. We're going to show you some video out of Brooklyn where there was 1, 2+ feet of water on the ground. That happened across Manhattan as well. It happened in parts of New Jersey as well. And what happened there is we have an upper level low that was spinning around in the middle Atlantic. It kind of connected through an atmospheric bridge, if you will, a tropical connection, to something along the eastern seaboard, eastward towards Henri. And then we ended up with this tropical connection of moisture and bands of very heavy rain, rainfall rates 2+ inches an hour. So I want to go to the maps and show you exactly how much rain has fallen, and there are a couple of bullseyes I want to point out. New York City, 6 inches of rain so far, more to come because it's still raining heavy. Look around Princeton, 6.5 inches of rain, close to 10 inches of rain in Toms River, and again, we're going to see another 4 to 8 inches of rain. So you can see along the Connecticut coast and Rhode Island, we've seen 2 to 4 inches so far, but it's still raining heavily in some areas. And now I want to show you why. So take a look. There's the upper level low I was talking about, connected with that dotted line you can see to Henri, and Henri feeding tropical moisture to the west into the coast. And so these bands of heavy rain set up shop. Now, that is not done yet. We're going to see over the next 24 to 48 hours that rain continue. You can see Henri, which is located across Connecticut. You can see that heavy band across Long Island into New York City and New Jersey, and watch how much more rain we are likely to see. Because some places, again, have seen 5, 6, 7, 8 inches of rain, and here's how much more we expect to see over the next 24 to 48 hours. We see the red, that's an additional 4 inches. Some spots picking up an additional 6+ inches of rain on saturated ground. And a lot of the Northeast over the past 60 to 90 days or so has seen way above normal rainfall, and the ground is saturated, so we're adding insult to injury. So when it's all said and done, this storm is likely to be remembered for the inland flood threat, and that's something that we've been talking about for the past couple of days, something we surmise would be the eventuality of this system.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much for keeping us so well informed, and appreciate it when things actually end up a little bit better than expected.